to Spadina on Queen, a group of about, I'd say 1,000 young people decided they wanted to go toward the fence. And they broke off from the march and went toward the fence. Those people were not violent, but all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I was right there at the time, the black people dressed as Black Bloc started to run across Queen Street. There was about 75 of them, I would estimate. And they're the ones who torched the car and who broke the window. For some reason, the police gave them free rein for an hour. And I have real questions as to why that happened. There were almost 1,000 riot police in the vicinity there. They could have stopped them easily at that point without anybody else, without putting anybody else in danger. But they let them burn the car. They let them break the windows. They let the car burn for, I think, 2 hours before they put it out so that all of you could get your shots. I think it was a kind of political spin.
So do you think, in a sense, what I seem to be taking from what you're saying is they were kind of trying to let the show happen so that they could perhaps justify the volume of police officers and the incredible mass of riot police and security in this area? Is that what you're suggesting?
That's what I'm suggesting. I mean, over the course of the week, I think that there were a lot of questions in the media and by the Civil Liberties Union about the cost of the security and the heavy-handedness of the security. And I think the police took an opportunity of the Black Bloc tactics to let Toronto get chaotic for a few hours, and so that they could justify the expenditure. I really think that, and I'm starting to think of mass arrests. I mean, they arrested 500 people, including all of the key grassroots organizers in Ontario that I know, and even the Civil Liberties just made a statement about 20 minutes ago denouncing this. They arrested 500 people. That's as many people as they arrested in Seattle at the first anti-globalization protest, and there were huge denunciations of those arrests that came in inquiries after. So
let's back up for a second, though, because if it wasn't for the Black Bloc, then what you're saying is we wouldn't have seen the torched cars and the damage around. So really, they're the ones that are creating this problem for all the legitimate protesters who have their issues and who have their gripes, right? So is there a way of, like, corralling these people? They're trying to, like, you're spoiling it. I mean, they don't really have a focused message except they want to damage and destroy, right? And so, like,
well, their idea, they do have a political idea. I don't agree with it at all, but it is a political idea. And the idea is that by creating a violent confrontation with the cops, or an intense confrontation with the cops, they show that the police, they show how repressive the state is, and they radicalize people. That's their idea. I think it's wrong, and I agree with you that they basically wipe out everybody else's message. So I don't agree with it. But in this case, they could have been stopped early on so that they wouldn't have wiped out everybody's message, that it would have been a brief encounter between the police. The police had I thought it couldn't happen because of the massive presence of the police. The police had massive presence there. Why didn't they arrest these people? There's videos of a guy jumping up and down in a police car. There's nobody around. There's a line of police watching him. Why didn't they arrest him? So I think the police let it go to justify the security expenses. I really do.
Well, as we heard from